If you were born in this country after 1988, then you have never lived in Britain at a time where private renters have had proper rights. That is all about to change. The Labour government have introduced their Renters' Rights Bill, and it will be the biggest shake-up of private renting in more than 30 years. So what new rights can private renters expect? Well, the major change is when it comes to evictions. In 2019, the Conservatives said they would ban no-fault Section 21 evictions, which mean that private landlords can evict their tenants at short notice without having to give a reason. That is finally being scrapped. It could be gone in a matter of months. Landlords will also have to give renters more notice, 4 months instead of 2, if they do want to evict a tenant for a legitimate reason. This will give renters far more stability than they have had so far. The next big change in the Renters' Rights Bill is about the cost of renting. If you are a private renter, you do not need me to tell you it is pretty expensive. Private rents are still rising faster and higher than inflation. Well, Labour say that they would like the legislation to help renters challenge rent increases. Now, what does that mean in practice? Well, I'd love to know. We're going to have to wait and see. But if there was a mechanism for renters to challenge a rent increase and fight back against it, it would mean that rent hikes in the middle of your tenancy, for instance, might be a bit more regulated, and that would give renters the stability they so urgently need. Among the other things in the Renters' Rights Bill that I think are worth noting is the application of something called the Decent Home Standard to the private renters sector. Now, this already applies to social housing, and what it means is that a landlord cannot let out a home which has hazards in it. That could be an electrical fault, it could be a structural issue. You'd think that that would already be the case. It's not. Another major new right that renters are about to get is the right to have a pet. Good news if you have a dog, a cat, a parrot. Landlords will no longer be able to refuse to rent to you because you have an animal. However, they will be able to ask that you have insurance for any damage it might cause. But how exactly this is going to be policed is an open question. How are the government going to make sure that landlords aren't taking one look at that pet and saying, oh no, I'm going to give the property to someone else?